guys, it's Luciano Sable with Aspiring Hollywood here in North Hollywood, actually, at TDJ Studios for the Burbank Film Festival. We're here with Destin.
Hey, how's it going?
And did you guys see the Burbank Film Festival?
We actually have we did a panel today at the Burbank Film Festival for a movie that I co-wrote and co-produced called Sushi Girl.
Any advice for aspiring filmmakers?
If you really aspire and you really want it, no backup plan. This is all you do. You live this, you breathe this, and you die this. You're 60 years old and you haven't succeeded, you keep trying until the day you die. If it was easy, everybody would do it. It's not easy. Live it, die it.
%. Any comments from you, Rachel?
Yeah, it's just hard work and dedication. That's what it's about. That's like for anything that you do. The more you believe in yourself and your dreams, you can do anything. Move mountains.
Thank you so much for that great advice, guys. Enjoy the party tonight, and thank you for joining us once again.
I have a great film coming out that's debuting at the Toronto Film Festival called Exit Humanity, and going to guest star in The Office in October, and am going to Rome to shoot a film, and am in negotiations for with a really big director to start a film in November. But I can't talk about it because contracts aren't done yet.
Well, we totally understand that. Well, would you be able to give advice to the aspiring, budding young filmmakers, actors, and so forth?
Absolutely. Everybody will tell you to be something else. Don't believe them, because who they really want is you.
Any words about the Burbank Film Festival?
Well, I think it's awesome. I mean, I wouldn't have a career if it weren't for horror films, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
So Jeff's a friend of mine, and I'm happy to turn up for him tonight.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it, and we're honored to have you here.
Good luck. Hang in there. Keep working. Don't give up no matter what they say.
Well, I'll tell you what. I am such a sci-fi fan. It's a new word. We're coining it tonight, right here, right now on the red carpet. And I've always loved it because I'm a fan of the solution. And we're plagued with so many problems these days, and we all have pundits everywhere exclaiming this and that, and these are the things. But sci-fi is brilliant. This is where Gene Roddenberry and others like this came up with the answers. They showed us how to work in the sandbox together and share our pails and shovels. The rest of it is armchair philosophy, but it's demonstrated. That means you and I can imitate it.
Very nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Well, we're with Aspiring Hollywood, yes. And what we're trying to do
as opposed to conspiring Hollywood.
Exactly.
Which is the other side.
It is the other side. You're right. How'd you know all that?
Well, I've been there.
So what we're trying to do is we're trying to help young aspiring filmmakers, screenwriters, producers, so forth, to make it in Hollywood, essentially, by giving them advice from people that are there, that are doing it, and are successful at it. Right. Do you have any advice for these people?
Yes. Now, if I said no, you'd be really upset.
I would pack up and go home.
This is basic stuff, and it's the same advice your grandmother gave you, and our guy with the Steadicam's grandmother gave him, in a foreign accent possibly. Be honest. Be honest, tell the truth. Molly Ivins, the great writer, told me, don't you love the name dropping that we do in LA? Told me a few years ago, she said, tell the truth, have fun, and do good. If you tell the truth, have fun, and do good, you'll actually go far. Why? Because Hollywood is ultimately business. At the end of the day, it's you have this vision, I have this vision. How can we do it together? And if I'm going to steal from you before we even started, it doesn't actually go anywhere. And so a lot of it has to do with trust. And when you think about LA, what is LA? It is a place where people from other parts of Earth, our 7.3 billion humans on this orb, they come here because they have a creative vision and they want to articulate it. But people aren't necessarily disciplined. They're not necessarily making nice, but they all want to do something. So the key is to do it efficiently and with honesty and integrity. And I know it just sounds like Anthony Robbins here, but it really is true. And you know this yourself, right? When you can actually trust somebody, the elevator goes up as opposed to, it goes from lingerie to sporting goods.
Absolutely.
Or the other way.
I like it. I like it. Thank you so much for joining us today. Any comments about the Burbank Film Festival?
Critically important. Critically important. the idea of storytelling and all the different venues and all the different cities throughout LA, and that Burbank, a name that many people knew from a show called Laugh-In years ago, right? We'd all heard of this place called Burbank, and so it is internationally known. It is a brand, it is a logo, and when you do a film festival there, you're going to get people paying attention. So what a wonderful place, not to mention half of Old Hollywood lives there.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much. You're such a great speaker. Can you plug Aspiring Hollywood for us?
I would. Hi, my name is Harris, and I'm with the Pacifica Radio Network and the syndicated Think Green. And Aspiring Hollywood is the place you want to go if you want to aspire, if you want to respire, and if you want to perspire. Wherever the inspiration is, be inspired by Inspiring Hollywood.
Thank you so much. You're the best. I appreciate it.
I'm Gerald Webb. I'm in Battle of Los Angeles. I just won the Golden Cobb Award for Best Rising B-Movie Actor, yeah.
Wow, congratulations, that's great.
Yeah, I'm on my way out to the B-Movie celebration this week to accept that, and looking forward to having some fun out there.
Well, very good. Well, we're with Aspiring Hollywood, and what we're trying to do is to help aspiring filmmakers, essentially, you know, make it in Hollywood. So would you have any advice for somebody that's aspiring to produce or to act?
Yeah, just do it. Seriously, just decide what you want to do, even if you don't have the money, even if the buyer use your iPhones, just start playing with it and getting down production experience. Your first movie's probably going to be really bad, so you make a second movie and it'll be a little better, and you make a third movie and it'll be a lot better, and then people see your work and you get other people involved, and really share it with other people that can come on board. You know, there's plenty of people out there in the creative world that want to be a makeup artist. So if you let them really run with it, they'll come in and they'll bust their behind to help your project look better, to help their career, and realize that it is a collaborative thing. They're helping you as much as you're trying to help them. You do that, I think you'll be fine.
Well, thank you so much. That's great advice, guys. Pay attention to that. That's very, very good advice. Thank you again for joining us. I appreciate it. Okay.
How do you do, Lucci?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Valerie. Valerie Perez.
Valerie, tell me about yourself.
I'm an actress, I'm a producer, and tonight I'm just helping Jeff Richter out with some of the celebrities.
Well, very nice. Well, thank you for coming down. Any comments about the Burbank Film Festival?
You know what? I haven't attended yet. I've wanted to see Gods and Monsters because I've done a lot of work with fan-inspired independent projects directly out of Comic-Con, and that was one I have yet to see. Definitely looks like one that was made with a lot of passion.
Yeah, I bet. Well, we at Aspiring Hollywood, we try to help aspiring actors, producers, filmmakers in general. Would you have any words of wisdom for them?
Make sure you know the story you're telling and that you've got the passion to tell it, because it's you know, blood, sweat, and tears, but it'd be worth it if it's what you really care about.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here at TDJ Studios in North Hollywood. We appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.
Great. I'm Harry. I'm the writer, director, and producer of Quantum Quest.
Wow, I'm very honored to have you here. My name is Luciano Saber, and I created and host and produce the show called Aspiring Hollywood. So you'd be the perfect victim for us.
I would. And what a name, Luciano Saber.
Yeah,
wow, exactly. That's a cutting-edge name.
Thank you so much. Did you hear that, folks?
So I don't think you saw my film, but we just came from the premiere of it in 3D. So one of the first times, and probably maybe the first time a 3D film is shown in a film festival in Los Angeles, and certainly the first time in the Valley.
Wow, well, tell us the name of it again, because I do want to see it. So what is it?
The movie's called Quantum Quest, and you can go to qqthemovie.com to get a lot of information, but it's an all-star cast. It's got Chris Pine, Hayden Christensen, Sam Jackson, Amanda Peet, Sandra Oh, Jason Alexander, Doug Jones, Tom Kenny, Abigail Breslin, and Neil Armstrong, just among some of my stars.
How did you get started? What was that one defining moment, or maybe a series of defining moments, that got you to where you are today?
It would be a long series of defining moments, too many to explain here, but so what got me into film? I was interested in film since I was very small. Leonardo da Vinci was a mentor, and a dead mentor nevertheless, but that got me excited about film because Leonardo was excited about motion. He was a scientist as well as an artist, and I'm a scientist and an artist.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's really an honor to have you here.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Oh, I'm doing Mansion of Blood. It's a horror film, but it's kind of campy and I also sing in it. And I sing a song, Bad Too Long, written by John Scher, and where we have John Barrymore III, we have Tyrone Powers Jr., we have a cast of characters.
I'm sure they are characters.
You know what I was realizing is when my father shot his first Roger Corman film, which was Boxcar Bertha with my stepmom, Barbara Hershey, he discovered a magazine. And in the magazine, it had a story about Mata Hari. And he decided that he wanted to film a movie called Mata Hari. He started filming it with Barbara Hershey. And when they broke up, he decided to film it with me instead, and it's coming out next year.
Are you serious?
I star in it as Mata Hari, and if he hadn't gone and done the Scorsese movie with Roger Corman, I never would have got the part.
Wow, that's a great story.
Even though I was the daughter of the producer. And actually, in my family, it's 3 generations of people that worked with Roger. I got my SAG card with him. My father worked with him. My grandfather, John Carradine, worked with him. And they say he's the most genuine guy in Hollywood.
Well, I'm a huge fan of Roger Corman, so I'm very, very honored to be here tonight.
Oh, so am I.
It's the second year in a row that I've had a film here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tell us about your movie.
Last year was My Name Is Jerry, the feature film that it played here at Burbank, and now it's streaming on Netflix and Hulu, and it really had a good life under it. This year it's Quantum Quest, an animated 3D feature. It's all about protons, neutrons. It's very scientific, but it's also very adventurous. And I voice a couple characters in it. Razor and Zero are my 2 names, a good guy and a bad guy. And Harry Clore is a brilliant writer who came up with this concept. And he's written for a lot of Star Trek, a lot of Harry Clore. Look him up. He's an amazing man.
We just talked to him, actually.
We just talked to him, yeah. So you know. Yeah, so I'm really proud to have it right here in Burbank Film Festival, right in my own backyard. So I love that.
Well, very nice. Well, we're with Aspiring Hollywood, and we're trying to give advice to young aspiring filmmakers and actors, try to kind of coach them through their careers so they can catch a break, without meeting the wrong people, right? Any advice for them?
Well, I'm also a judge this year in the Burbank Film Festival for the short film category. And having watched a lot of films and a lot of actors' performances, I would say, believe what you're doing before you try to make us believe it, okay? As an actor, commit to something to where it feels like you're going just beyond your comfort zone, because until it hurts, it's not going to look good.
You're absolutely right. One more question. Your defining moment, the defining moment of your career, what was that?
Oh my gosh. It was actually a red carpet event much like this, only it was the Oscars in 2007. I was there, I was aged 46 that year, and I thought that my career was over a long time before that. But my association with director Guillermo del Toro brought a string of films with it, including Pan's Labyrinth, which was up for 6 Oscar nominations that year. I was on the red carpet of the Oscars being interviewed by Joan Rivers, and that was the moment I had been really interesting enough to talk to on the red carpet.
Well, you're very interesting. I'm not Joan Rivers by any stretch.
Oh, but you're much prettier.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming down and joining us.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's what I do. I'm an independent filmmaker. I own the films. I make short films, like 5 minutes long, and I sell them on the internet. I sell them on TV. I sell them in movie theaters, and I sell them internationally, and they actually make a lot of money.
Now, let me ask you this.
Sure.
The business has really changed in the last 10 years with the internet. I produced a couple of feature films a few years back, and it was a totally different ballgame.
Yeah.
What do you think about distribution these days? How does that work compared to...
Well, there's so many outlets now. I think that's what's really cool. It's not just theatrical, non-theatrical, television, DVD, cable, internet, flash, VOD, DOD. So there's so many different ways to sell the film that it's a lot easier now than it used to be.
Can you tell us about any of your titles?
Yeah, well, the big one is Guard Dog. I was nominated for an Oscar for that. And in fact, we may be working together on that one. And then also we did, I did Your Face. It was also nominated for an Oscar. Showed a lot on MTV and the cable channels.
congratulations. It sounds very impressive. Any words or comments about the Burbank Film Festival?
Well, it's a young festival, but you know why I love coming here? Because this is the world center of animation. You got Disney, you got Nickelodeon, you got DreamWorks, you got all the smaller studios here. And for me to come here and be celebrated as an independent filmmaker is amazing. Check out Aspiring Hollywood.